Hi, thank you for joining me for this review of this Diatone 2019 GT Rabbit 239 R90 2-inch 3-cell brushless FPV racing drone, supplied courtesy of Banggood.com for review. And before I open the box, I'll just run through the specs with you quickly. Comes with a Runcam Micro Swift camera, Runcam TX200 VTX, Mamba 1105 5500 kV motors, Mamba 4-in-1 25 amp 3S ESCs, the Mamba F405 mini flight controller, 2-inch props, is a 90mm and weighs 72 grams without a battery. If I open the box, get a card, get Diatone decals, and yes, this R239 R90 is pink. So when I saw the pink color, I couldn't resist it. So now we will see if pink is for pussies. It does come in other colors. It comes in a black, a white, or Luency, a clear plastic. Comes on this very strong, solid plastic frame that feels as though it can be quite durable. Got a bit of flex, but does feel very, very strong. As I mentioned, it's a 90mm. These are the MB 1105 Mamba Racing 5500 kV brushless motors. Here's the Runcam Micro Swift FPV camera, our Mamba F405 FC. Here's the micro USB port to plug into Betaflight. Below here, the Mamba F25 25 amp 4-in-1 ESCs with D-Shot 600. And on top here, the 5.8 GHz Runcam TX200U 48 channel VTX transmitter that transmits at 25 milliwatts up to 200 milliwatts. Got an XT30 plug, and the recommended battery for this is a 3-cell 350 up to 450 mAh battery, and this has already come pre-tuned for a 3S battery. So we see this is a plug and play version, and we see this plug here where you plug on your own receiver. So I'm going to be plugging a FreeSky XM Plus receiver onto this. And over here we've got another connector that's loose, and this is to plug on the buzzer that comes with this, and I'll show you shortly. The 5.8 GHz antenna isn't really in a good position lying flat like this, so I'll modify this and raise it so this is standing up straight. If we look underneath here, very nice to see this come with a battery strap, which makes it versatile for various size batteries. So let me just modify the antenna and get the receiver on, and I'll show you what else comes in the box too. So I've put on the receiver, I've used a cable tie to secure it, and I've also used the cable tie to secure the 5.8 GHz antenna upwards here. And this is the buzzer that comes with it that I need to connect onto here. Just peel this off. plug this in here, which is easier said than done, but here it is. And then we've got some double-sided tape. Nice to see there's a cover on top here, so I'm just going to remove the double-sided tape and stick it on over here. And this is the buzzer stuck on here now too. We also get a lot of spare screws. I'll tell you what they are. M2 by 3, M2 by 4, M2 by 5, M2 by 6, M2 by 7, M2 by 8, and M2 by 9. We get this spare connector, which is always good. We get 5 cable ties. We get an XT30 male connector and 2 spare nylon nuts. Then we also get these silicone pads, and I put 2 on the bottom here, which is good because it helps prevent the battery digging into screws and helps hold the battery in a secure position. We also get a spare battery strap, which is great. And we get this bit of paper with the diagram and connections on for the FC board, and also for the 4-in-1 ESCs. And we get these 2-inch 3-blade props that screw on, and here the screws to screw this on. So let me get the props on too. So here the props fits it now. Clear, flexible props, and fits on quite easily with these 2 hex or Allen screws that you need to put on for each prop. So now let's have a look at the Betaflight settings. Okay, here we are connected up to Betaflight, and the first thing it's always good to do, back up your CLI. If you don't know what this means, just do a search for backing up CLI. It's always good to do. If you have any problems, you can restore the default settings. It's also good to just click on this tab here, backup, and back up the file here too. So let's have a look at the ports. UART1, we've got serial RX enabled, and UART3, the IRC TREM protocol, and this is to allow you to access OSD on-screen display settings using the sticks on your radio controller, and also to do flip mode, or what is known as turtle mode. So if it lands upside down, you can use your sticks and a switch on your radio controller to let it flip the right way round up. We look at configuration. Okay, so we quad X, D-shot 600. It's got motor stop switched off. Here we've got the accelerometer enabled, which is fine. Now, because I put a FreeSky XM Plus receiver on, I'm the serial based receiver and on S-Bus. And over here we've got air mode, OSD, anti-gravity and dynamic filter enabled. I'm going to set RX lost and RX set on, which basically means the ESCs will let out a beep tone. If it does crash and you lose connection with the battery, then the beeper won't work unless you've got a beeper on that has its own battery too. Then all the beeper settings here are all on. Okay, and you've got craft name. This is currently Diatone, but I'm going to change it. And I'm going to call it Pink Think for now. And then if it performs fairly well, I'll call it Pink Think, as in pink thing. And if it does perform really, really well, I'll call it Pink Jink. So, and jink means it turns very quickly and very rapidly. I'm just going to save this and reboot. And then if we look at power and battery, minimum cell voltage 3.3. I prefer this less. I'm going to make it 3. Maximum is fine at 4.3 for charging. And warning cell voltage I'm going to reduce down to 3.2, because if you give it sudden bursts and this is set high, you get those irritating beeps and low warnings in flight. I'm just going to save that. Look at failsafe. All the failsafe settings here. I haven't got my channel fallback settings set up yet. Stage 2 settings we got on 4. For failsafe, I'm going to reduce this to 2. And it should drop if it goes out of range. Look at the pit tuning. These are the default pits, and I'll leave it set at the default pits for now and see how it goes. Now receiver, to get any response here, you need to plug a battery into the craft. So let me just connect a battery. So now I've got a battery plugged in and I've got my radio controller turned on. And this is actually my throttle. So I need to change the channel map here. Spectrum to TAER and save. And now if I go throttle, I've got throttle, yaw, pitch, and roll. I don't see any fluctuations on any of the auxiliaries here, so the RSSI channel is not enabled, so I'll leave it as disabled. Have a look at modes. So I'm going to put this on auto, flip my switch. I've got this on auxiliary 2. Okay, we've got no speed setup. So go here, put it on to auto, click here. So I want horizon at the lower end of the scale here. Beeper, because we've got a beeper, let's just add in a beeper. And let me choose my switch for beeper. And just save here. Okay, that's beeper setup. Flip over after crash. Going to change to this switch here, auxiliary 6. And where is air and acro? And then I'll add angle here, in this position, which should really put it in air mode in this switch position. and save. We look at OSD settings. Although we haven't got RSSI enabled, I'm going to enable RSSI. I see the name is sitting up here. I don't want it there, so I'm going to move it down here. I like fly mode enabled too, so I'm going to enable fly mode. Put this here. Got craft name, VTX channel, main draw. I'm happy with these OSD settings for now. Got average cell voltage and MAH draw. I'm going to save here. Okay, then when you're finished, it's good to go and save the CLI again. And if we just have a look here, in the CLI, we can see that the target is Fury F450 SD 3.5.1 dated the 3.5.1 dated the 8th of September 2018. Always good to back up the CLI after you've made your changes and save your settings too. So we'll just go back here, save and reboot, and those are the settings in Betaflight. So now it's set up and ready to go, and if we look at the weight without a battery, including props and strap and everything, it's 88 grams. Now, although it's recommended for a 3-cell battery, I'm going to try it with a 2-cell battery, and then I'll also be trying it with the Zop Power 3-cell 550 mAh 70C battery. And if we look at the weight with the 3-cell battery, this will come in at 137 grams. So now let's go and see how it performs. So I did an indoor test flight using the 2-cell battery, but to be honest, it doesn't perform well with the 2-cell battery, primarily because the settings are for a 3-cell battery, so not really recommended. But here's some quick sample footage of this flying with a 2-cell. And now you can see how it performs with a 3-cell battery. Okay, let's see how this pink Diatone GT 239 R90 goes. We've got a 6 to 7 mile per hour wind, so we'll see how it performs in a bit of wind too. Right, taking off nicely. Actually holding quite steady in this wind. Surprisingly stable. Okay, got a 3-cell battery on. That's a punch out, not a very strong punch out. So turn there. Okay, this is going well. Got a strong pitch, downward pitch here. And you give it some stick. Okay, FPV screen's looking good. Really handling it quite well in this wind. Okay, that's quite high up now. Bring it down a bit. Right, get some video here too. Not that it's a cine whoop, but the camera is good. That's the wind pushing it a bit now, because it is a bit gusty. Performing well outdoors in this wind. Very stable. I wouldn't say this is for pussies. It does perform very well. Does maneuver very nicely. Look at that pitch. And you really want to go. And actually got a nice sound to it too. Really impressed with this. Keep it fairly close to the camera so you can see a bit more. Hey, got low battery alarm now, and been in there nearly 4 minutes on this 550 mAh battery. Let me bring it in. That's power. Stop the clock. So unfortunately my DVR cut off, so it didn't save the FPV video. So I'll do another flight and post a separate video just of FPV flight footage. But I didn't notice any static or breakups on the FPV screen, which is very good. Got a flight time of just over 4 minutes off of the 550 mAh battery. And I can now say that this pink jink is not for pussies, or to put it more politely, the faint-hearted. It's got a lot of power and does pack a punch, but is surprisingly stable. 2, very impressed with how this flies, and is quite sturdy and quite strong. And I did find the pink colour actually quite striking in the air. So, a great 3S 2-inch brushless FPV racing whoop. Please subscribe, like, comment and share if you like my videos.